jute, posh, cotton, and maybe this weird monstrosity. After 10 years of tying with every possible rope you can imagine, here is how I choose which rope to tie with and why. Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Anastasia and today we are going to be talking about ropes. I have been tying for about 10 years and I tried a lot of ropes. So in this video I'm going to be talking to you about types of ropes. So you know what lengths of rope you need, what diameter of rope, and what material most importantly. And you will choose for yourself which one suits your needs. This video is long, guys, because there's a reason. We need to know what ropes we are using and why. And I'm going to share with you as much as I can. And before we start, I want to thank our sponsor, me. As you might have noticed, my channel got demonetized again, and this time it's for real, and I don't think that I am getting monetized again. So now the great way for you to support me if you want to is to use my links to get the ropes, to try my online courses, which will take you on the full-on journey from zero to very confident Shibari practitioner, or just to follow my Patreon and see weekly updates and Shibari sessions and all the other shenanigans that are going on there. As you know, I've been tying for many years with many different types of ropes. For different people and different scenarios, I always need different ropes. Not just different colors, very often different types of ropes. For example, I burn rope, I put people underwater in rope. Sometimes we tie on the sandy beaches, and sometimes you just understand that this rope is not gonna survive. So I want to tell you which rope will survive, which cases, so you know what to do. Question number one that people always ask me, how long is the rope? Okay, so the very normal length of rope is usually from 8 to 10 meters long, but it really depends on you. So if your arms are really long, then maybe you can use a little bit longer rope, like 12 meters, but you don't want to get tangled. The reason why I personally use 8 meters is because it suits me. And it is something that I don't get tangled in. And of course, if you need a longer rope, then you just add one more. You don't try to take like a 24-meter rope at once and work with that, because this is just going to be very difficult. If you have ever tried to work with a very long piece of rope, you understand what I mean right now when I say you're going to get tangled. Even if you're really good, you might get tangled with like 20 meters of rope. Question number two is how thick is the rope? So normally what I use is 5.5 millimeters thick. But it depends not exactly on you all the time. It might depend on your model. Because look, if you use thicker rope, like 6 millimeters, it is more comfortable on the body, because the thicker the lines are, the more the pressure is distributed. The better the pressure is distributed. And if you use thinner ropes, then it feels like it bites into the body a little bit more, but some people like it. And also it depends on the sizes of your model. If you're tying bigger people, then thicker rope will look better on them. And smaller people, thinner rope will look better on them, right? So like if you are tying a tiny lady and you are tying her with a 7 millimeter rope, it'll just look a little bit awkward. But if you take a thinner rope, everything will look way better and kind of like fit together more. So now, when two very important questions have been answered, let me remind you, let me summarize that one more time. How long is my rope? My rope is 8 meters long. Your rope can be a little bit longer, depending on how big you are. How thick is my rope? 5.5 millimeters. Your rope can be different depending on the people that you tie and your preference. And now we are going into discussing the types of ropes, which is probably what you have been waiting for, yeah? First of all, we are going to talk about the most traditional rope for shibari, jute rope. So jute rope is something like this. I'm going to show you all the close-ups and some photos and videos made with jute rope. Jute is my favorite. Why? This is because jute has amazing texture and it feels very nice on the body. Also, when you tie with jute, all the lines actually connect really well. It is not slippery. It really sits together really well. So you also need to know how to treat jute if you decide to use it, because jute is not an easy rope. It's not like you get it and then you just tie with it and it just gets better all the time. Sometimes. Usually when you tie with jute, yes, it does get better, but at some point when you tie a lot, you will need to give it some treatment. You will need to oil it, to burn it again, and to make sure that nothing is like twisted anywhere. So you really need to check your jute. If you start suspending, then I recommend to use different rope for the up lines than jute. But a lot of people use jute and they use it safely because they switch their jute often enough and they always check that their ropes are not broken in any place, okay? So jute is quite strong, but again, jute is a natural fiber, so it can break. There are very different types of jute, okay? So some people that are probably not really into shibari, that are just picking up that shibari is trending, they want to start selling shibari rope and they look into cheap ropes. So I'm gonna tell you a little secret. There is no cheap shibari rope. It doesn't exist. If you see rope for shibari that is cheap, it's not good rope. So let me show you the exact example of what came to me when somebody told me that they are opening a shibari rope store. This package arrived, not treated. They smell like petrol, and they, of course, everything falls off them really easy. And the other problem with this is that in some places of this rope, I found some like garbage that you need to take out of the rope. It's really easy to pick that out. So I just told them, my honest review, I told them that this is rope for pets, rope for gardening, maybe rope for decorating your house, but this is not rope for shibari. Even if it is okay thickness, but even if I treat it and color it, it will not be that perfect shibari rope that I'm looking for. So yeah guys, don't order shibari rope from Temu, okay? I think this is exactly where this came from. Okay, where to order shibari rope from? You can buy it from me. Down here I leave a link for my jute ropes with a discount code for you, Voodoo10. It's gonna give you 10% off your order. So you can get perfect shibari jute ropes just here, because I've been looking for perfect jute for a very long time and I found it, so now I sell it. So you don't have to go to a million stores to try it out. And also, if you are in Europe, it is easier for you to not wait until your order of my rope comes. It may be easier to order from the other stores. You can watch the full version of this video on my Patreon, where I give the full reviews of the suppliers that I tried before, so you can see who does what and in which country. I'm going to talk a little bit about which ropes I have right here. So now this one is from a sex shop in Japan. But look, sex shop rope in Japan is actually good. It's not sex shop rope in any other country. So in any other country, what you're gonna get is like rope for curtains, okay? But this is really good jute. And if you are in Japan and you're like, some people text me, where do I buy rope? I'm in Japan, I'm Googling, I can't find anything. Just go to a sex shop and you're gonna see this. Buy it, it's good rope. Then I have these. All of these are from my store. Let me show you more. Oh, by the way, this little bag for ropes you can get from me too. I made this design from one of my pictures, and you can hold your ropes into this nice little bag. Okay, so let's see what I got here. Here is some more jute. So you can see this one, for example. This one I got from Epic Rope in Canada. I really like their ropes. The difference of their jute from pretty much everything else that I've seen is that they really put beeswax on the rope, and it's nice. It makes it a little bit thicker. It makes it, it keeps it from shedding. It does. I have this rope for almost 4 years, I think, or even 5, and it doesn't shed at all because it is treated really, really well, and it has quite a layer of wax on it, which is interesting. I like it. So yeah, this is Epic Rope. You can get rope from them. They were kind enough to send me samples when I was not a big YouTube channel yet or anything like that, and I really appreciate that. Their ropes are 10 meters long. Then I have these ropes. These are also from a sex shop in Japan. These are really good jute ropes, but they are thicker than what I usually use. A little bit thicker. This is 6 millimeters thick. And those were not treated when I got them, but I treated them and they became quite nice. I really enjoyed them. Then I have the blue ones. These are the ones the same ones that I have in my store. Those are a little bit thinner, and those are also quite old for me. Like this I have for 4 years already. I used them a lot for suspensions, but then I stopped because I can't use my jute ropes for too long, yeah, so I needed to switch them if I want to keep using jute for suspension. But yeah, here you can actually see the damage on the ropes because they are quite old. I love them so much, I just can't let go. So I still keep them so I can do some harness with them, but I don't use them for suspension purposes, of course. Put some oils on them so they survive a little bit longer. And now my very, very favorite ropes are these ones. My friend Carla gave them to me, so I'm very attached to these. I treated them so they got a little bit softer the way I like them. But you know what? Some people like rough ropes. So if you don't like to treat your ropes, that's okay. Maybe somebody will like it, but I prefer treated jute. Let's remember that jute can be used for suspension, floor work, anything. But jute needs some special care, attention, and you cannot use the same jute rope for suspension again and again and again and again and think that it's not going to be damaged. It will be damaged because this is natural fiber, it breaks. So please be very careful with jute rope. And also keep in mind that if you make your jute rope wet on the model, it is going to get super, super tight. So I recommend not to use jute in water. So what about washing your jute ropes? This is a tricky one, yeah? So like you had some fun or something just happened to your ropes. You need to wash them. So what do you do here? You can wash jute. It's okay. You totally can wash them. Just be careful. Don't wash them in the washing machine with your clothes together, yeah? You can wash them with very, very light detergent and on a very, very slow cycle, but better just wash them with your hands. Get a bucket, wash them in the bucket, and then dry them with weights on them, because when you dry a jute rope, it has to be actually quite tight. So yeah, it's maybe like a 2-day process to wash jute ropes, but totally worth it. 2 days, and then you need to treat them again. Yeah. So yeah, quite a pain, but worth doing. If you want to know how to do it, I do have videos on it on my Patreon where I explain step-by-step process of how to do that. Because I love jute. Jute is my favorite material. Even if jute is a princess of rope, like a princess on that, you know, like mattresses with a P, like that's jute rope. All right, well, jute, talked about that. Perfect, let's go on. The next one is cotton. So let me tell you, this is what you usually find when you Google Shibari rope or bondage rope. Something like this is gonna come up. This is okay, but this is not really professional Shibari rope. This is like fine, but it stretches. So why we don't like cotton is because it stretches. Not all cotton, but like most of these types of cotton, yes, they do. And also it loses its appeal. So like, for example, this one is new, so it looks really nice. But then let's look at this. This one I had for like maybe a year, tied with it a few times, and you see how it changed. It does not look new anymore. It looks like somebody really used it, and it has fluff in it even. So yeah. There's also another type of cotton rope, this. These are actually twisted too, so this is 3 strands, so it looks like, I mean from very far, might look like jute. But this one does not stretch at all, so this is a different type of cotton. So I prefer this if you prefer cotton on your skin, because cotton is, of course, very soft, very nice on the skin. And if you want to try cotton, I do recommend you to find cotton that is twisted, not these ones that are the most typical ones. They are too stretchy and just gonna look like they're old very quickly. Of course, you don't suspend on cotton, never suspend on cotton. Yeah, that's all I want to say about it. Cotton is okay if you're starting, but you might want to move on to something more serious later, okay? If you use cotton for photos, that's great. If you put cotton in water, it actually gets looser, not tighter, looser. So tie a little bit tighter if you want to take pictures with cotton rope in water. All right, well, cotton ropes. Thank you guys. Bye-bye. Okay, cotton, done. The next one is bamboo silk. Bamboo silk is better than cotton. Why? Because it does not stretch. It does not change its texture in the water. It doesn't get tighter, it doesn't get looser, it stays the same. It also feels even better on the body because, I mean, it's bamboo silk. It has silk in the word, so it slides really, really, really nicely, and it doesn't burn the skin too. So yeah, I do recommend you to try bamboo silk if you are into the softer ropes. You can try bamboo silk from another collaboration of mine with Squirtopia. I leave the link below, and you can try this particular ropes of mine, Sunset Rainbow ropes. So the next one that I want to talk about is hemp rope. Hemp rope is something that I personally only used a few times, but a lot of people like hemp. But I don't really like too much because it tangles. Every time you try to use hemp rope, of course it feels a little bit nicer to the body if you don't like how jute feels, or you have allergy to jute, then you can always use hemp. So that's the hemp rope, and this is just very regular rope that I got from the adult store in San Diego. It's this one, it's kink rope, and I love it. This rope is nice. This rope tangles a little bit, of course, because it's hemp, but not that much.
1 million zillion jillion dillion cotillion times later.
Why I don't use it is because I've been always a jute girl. And when people come to retreats and they have the whole bag of hemp that they have been using for a long time, hemp always looks like it is old, you know? But you might like that. For me, I just don't like the look of hemp. But hemp pretty much has the same qualities that the jute rope will have. So feel free to choose which one you like better. You just need to touch them all and decide for yourself. Next one that is, I'd say, the winner in many categories is Posh. So these beautiful ropes, this pink, that glow in the dark, by the way, and this reds, and also these naturals, all of these are Posh ropes. You might think that this looks like jute. Yeah, it does. Here we go. This is Posh Rope. So the good thing about this is that if you are combining different types of ropes for safety, for example, you want to be safer on the suspension lines, this is what you're getting. You're getting Posh. So what is exactly Posh? Yeah, let me read it to you. Posh is spun polyester rope often used for traditional sailing. Yeah, sailing. No joke, for real. Posh rope is a sailing rope. It's for boats. And this is why we know that it's really strong. But I think why we actually grab that rope from the boats and we use it in Shibari is because it feels so good on the skin. It is quite soft. And if you are, for example, allergic to jute, or you just have weird reactions to other types of ropes, Posh is never going to give you any kind of reaction. It's really soft, but you should not move it really fast on the body because it does burn the skin. And when I tie with Posh during performances, I always have gloves on because I try to tie my uplines real quick. And then if I do them without my gloves, I can burn my hands a little bit. So Posh ropes are great for floor work, for suspension. They actually can hold a lot of weight and they are really hard to damage. They also come in many different colors and the texture of them is like jute, which is great because when you tie somebody and they want that nice feeling of jute, they can get it with Posh too. Posh is not spiky at all. So for somebody who is sensitive, has sensitive skin, this is a better option. Also, Posh doesn't really lose its appeal, so you can see the new rope and the old rope here. New and old, they look almost the same. Here, for me, of course, you can see a tiny difference in color because this one I put underwater a few times, and also I used it for suspension lines, and I washed it in the washing machine. And yeah, I mean, it doesn't look new, but it is still looking pretty good compared to how any other type of rope will look after I do all of those things with it. So yeah, if you are looking to use your ropes in like water or something, then use Posh because it is made for boats. When I use Posh for photo sessions or videos underwater, I tie the harness and I don't have to think about making it tighter or looser because the rope is going to change. The rope is not going to change underwater at all. It's not going to get tighter. Your knots are going to be still easy to untie. So this is perfect rope. Another great thing about this type of rope is that you can easily wash it in the washing machine. You literally throw this in the washing machine with, again, like on a light cycle, nothing crazy, okay? With a little bit of delicate detergent, and it's gonna be like new. You can dry it on the sun for a little bit, it's gonna be fine. And this rope also doesn't really take the shapes of cup noodles or anything like that, so yeah, I really like Posh. I found out about Posh because of one of my students, Cody. Cody had a skin condition that he cannot use jute rope at all because his skin is like really sensitive. And he discovered Posh rope while he was trying to find something that he can use because he's really into Shibari. He made Shibari his work, his life, his like everything now. And he opened a Posh rope store and studio in Atlanta, so I really support that and I love these ropes. Polyester ropes that I don't use, this is why I don't talk about them a lot. Because what I heard is that polyester ropes are quite slippery, so if you're working with them, you will have to really learn how to use them well. Here's the last contestant. I have this crazy color rope. This is something that I bought from the same store in Japan where I got a huge box of jute last year. On the same website they had this. And I was like, well, if this is on the same website and it is a professional shibari, you know, that everybody recommends to me there, all the teachers that I worked with were like, okay, this is where you get rope from. And I was like, okay. So I got this. I got 5 of these little bad boys. And they are, I mean, not my perfect structure or feel, but they glow in the dark. This can be used for suspension lines and for suspension in general. When I tie with this, I do need to adjust my knots a little bit more because it is a little more slippery and it also is a little bit stretchy. So of course not my favorite, but if I need to do a performance with some crazy colors, this is what I go for. Alright guys, well, to sum it all up, let's say that if you want to follow exactly what I do, I recommend you to start with good jute rope, a few of them, maybe get 2 to start if you're just doing something on yourself on the floor. If you are ready to tie with somebody else and you are very interested in tying the whole body, get 4. So the good kit of ropes is 4 for the beginner. And if you are sensitive to jute, then try Posh Rope. If you don't like either of those, you can try cotton or bamboo silk. I still always recommend bamboo silk over cotton because it is just a nicer material. It feels a little bit better. If you are doing suspensions, then I do recommend you to get Posh Rope for your uplines. The rope that I do not like at all is cotton ropes like this. I don't like them. I know that some people want to practice with something very, very simple in the beginning, and that's fine. That is up to you. You can start shibari with any type of rope. It really doesn't matter. Like, especially when you start something like repeating some videos on YouTube, you really don't need to overcomplicate things. If you have something like this available to you, do it. Don't wait until you have a perfect rope around. Do it with whatever rope you have at home. Maybe you have a nylon rope there and that's fine. Just start with something. And then when you see that you really like shibari and you want to get a better feel of it, and then upgrade to another kind of rope that can give you a little bit more sensations and maybe will also give a better look to whatever you're doing. Alright guys, thank you for watching. I hope that now you know what you prefer, which rope you want, and now you know how long your rope should be, how thick your rope should be, and why. Also, I really hope that this encouraged you to start tying if you weren't tying yet, because whatever rope you have, please just start. Grab the free course down below and start. Don't wait for anybody or anything, okay? And of course, don't forget to click a like button and subscribe to this channel so you can see more videos. And if you want to support me, go on my Patreon and see way more tutorial videos, very detailed descriptions of everything, and shibari session videos. Alright guys, happy tying! Bye bye! Because you never see it in my work, but I tried, like this one. You can see that I tried using polyester rope on myself. It looks cool, but I just don't like it.